all over here at Prince's Park, home of Dartford FC. Gary, another game in the National League South, a tricky team to come up against in Dartford, and unfortunately it's a 2-0 loss today, mate.
Yeah, look, we conceded after 2 minutes, so a lot of stuff goes out the window then, is not in terms of game plans, because we certainly, if anybody's watched the first half, we certainly didn't come here just to defend and go away with a point. And as soon as they scored, and maybe you can say they've then sat back, but we've had complete control of the first half then, really. Some really good chances and not managed to stick one of those away, and then we do a copy and paste in the second half, concede straight away, and then we're up against it from there, and again create some good opportunities and don't finish them off, and then like I say, we have a perfectly good goal ruled out. Again, that's not to rule our luck at all. It's a difficult decision for the linesman to make. We've just again watched it back, and it's those fine margins that seem to go against you at the moment. But look, we have to cliches. We have to dust ourselves off, and like I said, coming here is not necessarily going to define our season. Certainly our home games will. But disappointed today. Disappointed that we've been beaten 2-0. Because I felt we were worth a lot more than that, and it's not. Like I said, this. Like I said, I think we were better.
Go on then, Gaz, let's unpack it. As a manager, it's very difficult to legislate for certain things, and going down 1-0 after 2 minutes is hardly the ideal scenario when you find yourself in a tricky place like this. Didn't really see much of the goal, to be honest. I'll be fairly honest. We were all having a conversation behind there about how we should do this and that and the other, and suddenly a ball broke down that left-hand side, and the ball's come across, and suddenly it's in the back of the net.
Yeah, and again, look, just to balance off the comment I made about having a really good goal chalked out. He looked offside, but we've watched that back, and he was onside. So we haven't then dealt with the ball into the box well enough. And yeah, like you say, anything that you've prepared for all week goes out the window. So look, disappointing. You're 1-0 down from there, and then you're chasing the game. We're certainly in the ascendancy. If we hadn't conceded that and we'd have gone in at half time, we'd have. And we did. I let the players talk at the start, and they were talking about how much they dominated the game in the first half. So look, I can't come out. You can probably take these at the moment and copy and paste them yourselves, because it just feels like we're saying the same thing every week.
Real character building really from the boys, though, Gaz, to respond well to going down early doors. You've alluded to the chances. We've just rattled off a couple of them there. I think probably the biggest chance of the first half, Joe Hanks on the half turn, goal at his mercy, but it's just flashed wide. With a couple of decent stabs down the right hand side with Owen Windsor, a couple of balls in from corners. We're not looking ineffective, but the ball's just not quite getting over that white line. And I suppose really when it comes down to it, you've really summed it up with when you're down there, your luck's not quite with you. But thoroughly dominant first half performance.
Yeah, and then that sort of continued into the second half a bit. It got a bit scrappier, because then obviously we're chasing the game, and we're chucking men forward, so you lose a tiny bit of the control that you had in the first half. But yeah, absolutely. You've mentioned some of those chances there. We've had one cleared off the line as well. Like I said, so yeah. Ultimately, we're talking about the same story as we've talked about the last sort of 2 weeks, I think. So. Yeah, like I say, we created some really, really good opportunities. We've got Alex Bray with switches of play in here, and he managed to get him into the box 1v1 quite a number of times. It's just the final ball eluded people, balls flashing across the box, and not really necessarily getting a finishing touch. And then Owen Windsor, the other side's put a couple of balls into the box, and we've maybe not closed the door on the other side of the pitch with Alex. So they're the fine margins that we talk about, and maybe that it's not a lack of desire today at all. But again, go back to it, cliches, just ruthlessness in both boxes, and we're just missing that at the moment. We seem to get it back just over Christmas in those 5 games, and let's be honest, it's only been these 2 games we're talking about. So yeah, look, coming away here, whilst it won't define our season, it's just more so, like I said, just disappointing to be coming off and saying the same things as I was saying last week.
We'll undress the elephant in the room and get to that. Last week, Craig Fatton made a goal ruled out for offside. We've looked back at that on the highlights, and he's onside, 2 yards. That would have been a point against Braintree. When you're battling in a place like Dartford, around sort of the 60-65 minute mark, and the ball goes in the back of the net, and everyone's celebrating. You may not be able to be quite as blue tinted as I am, but we've watched the highlights back. Russ has spun his man. That's one that's kept him on, and then he's played the ball past Esser and Bonner both in the middle and a shot past them. So what the line I've seen with 3 players playing him on, one can only imagine.
Look, it was like you say, they're the decisions that go against you. It's difficult. They haven't, they don't have the benefit that we have, and they've got to make split split second decisions. I'm not going to rest on that. We don't make excuses. So look, yeah, they're probably cliches. They're game changing decisions, and goals change games, and we're in the ascendancy. But look, that's football. I'm more annoyed that we haven't defended properly at the other end, because actually that doesn't become an issue, because we come away with a point if we don't concede and we do things properly.
2-0 today, Gaz. We make a joke about it in the National League South. It's a very unforgiving league, and the games sometimes they do get easier, sometimes they don't. From second in the league to first in the league, visiting you on Tuesday night. They've had a 3-1 win today against Bath. They're going to be rocking in full of confidence at the top of the league, looking to extend that. I suppose really at this point, when things are going through your head after must be maybe the wrong time to ask the question, but how do you prepare for a team like Ebbsfleet after a game like this?
We prepare the same way we do every week. So look, we started our preparations for them, tail end of last week. So yeah, look, we'll prepare for them like we do every week. We'll go in with a bit of a game plan, look to execute that, and if we don't, then yeah, like I said, these 2 games won't define our season, but it's disappointing. So like you said, whether or not games are unforgiving on the run, you have to play everybody. So again, it doesn't matter whether you're first or stone last. You have to go into every game believing that you can win it, and we need to maintain that belief. And we'll go into Tuesday with that belief again, that we can win the game and cause an upset at Harden Ewers.
Well, a little positive, Gaz. Obviously, we've seen from around the place today. I suppose, the National League South. It can be an unforgiving division, but down there today, all the teams that are around us that could have gained a little bit of traction from the loss here today, they failed to do so. It's another week, I suppose, that we've brought in terms of a chance to get it right when we come up against a side, but maybe more sort of that ilk as well. Really give you must fire the belly really when these teams around you are losing as well. I suppose at least it keeps it honest, it keeps it a fight, and it means that no one's too far away from you. And when you do put that run together, you're out of the muck really.
Again, I'm not saying it for effect. I don't really care about anybody else. I only really care about us. So I don't necessarily look at the table. I don't look at what's going on around us. If they win and they win their games, then it doesn't matter if we win ours. So as I said, that's not an out-and-out cliche. All I worry about is whether or not we do our job on a Saturday, whether I do a job, whether the rest of us do a job, and if we do that, we talked about that at the start of the game. Football's a simple game, complicated by idiots, and if everybody does their jobs and does their jobs well, then you tend to win football matches. So ultimately we've done that for 60, 70, 80% of the game today or whatever, and it's just those small moments that cost. So nobody deliberately either makes mistakes, and as I said, I don't think there's been individual errors today. So look, as I said, we win as a collective, we lose as a collective. There's however many games there's left to go, and we'll be fighting and scrapping for every single point.
Well, commiserations today, Gaz. We move on to Ebbsfleet on Tuesday. Just a quick point that's come through where we're standing here. Congratulations to Joel Smedley on loan at Corsham. They've just come through in their FA Vars tie, so he's into the quarter-final now and 2 games away from Wembley, so well done, Joel. Commiserations, Gary. We'll see you on Tuesday, hopefully against Ebbsfleet. We can turn it round.
Yeah, thanks very much. Thank you.